September is the month where fall slowly but surely begins in Switzerland. In this video, I show you a few of my favorite places and what they look like at the moment. I love visiting the same places at different times of the year and seeing how nature is changing from week to week. Today we are going to Grindelwald again, and as you can see, the leaves on the trees are still mostly green. In 2 or 3 weeks, however, everything here will be colorful, provided that the leaves survive the coming autumn storms. Because even if it seems calm and idyllic today, fall can also be very stormy in Switzerland. When we go to Grindelwald, we try to leave the village center as quickly as possible. As you can see, it's always busy here, and you have to be careful not to run over any tourists. They are often busy taking selfies and sometimes forget that they are standing on the road. Our destination today is Bussalp. It is located above Grindelwald at 1,800 meters above sea level and can be reached either on foot or by bus. We do this hike from time to time because Rasta can run around freely here. I take the opportunity to try out my little new drone DJI Neo. It can be launched from the hand without any controller and takes pictures according to the selected modes and then lands on the hand again. For me, it's really a cool toy that gives me new perspectives. On the 2-hour hikes, we hike through beautiful maple forests. They turn really beautiful and golden in fall. That's why we keep an eye on them. We also encounter a few animals along the way. As long as the snow is not here yet, they can still eat the grass to their heart's content. There are even a few cows and a herd of sheep that clearly speak a different dialect to me. We soon reach our destination, Grindelwald, and the next adventure begins. We are up early again. As long as the alpine passes are still open, I want to ride them as often as possible. They will soon be taking a winter break and won't be open again until spring. Today we are once again heading for the Grimselpass. However, we don't stay on the Grimselpass, but take the narrow mountain road to Oberaar. Do you still remember that? We were here about 3 weeks ago. Back then, it looked like this. At this time of the day, there are actually only a few types of people out and about: dog walkers, joggers, and photographers. At this extremely beautiful spot, we came across this photographer who was taking pictures of the mountains with the reflections in the lake. Yeah, that's a good idea. He has the perfect jacket for this. Super. For me as a photographer, the rule always applies: first come, first served. But I kindly asked him if he minded if I took pictures too. He said no, and so we shared the spot. As a thank you, I sent him a few pictures with the great jacket and the matching background. What a perfect spot! I'm surprised that the wool grass is still here. Huh? Very nice. The landscape has changed quite a bit since then. The lush green has turned into an orange-yellow-red. These are blueberry bushes that are slowly getting ready for winter. In contrast to our last visit here, we are now alone, and we enjoyed the sunrise atmosphere. It was short-lived, and soon the normal daylight arrived. We drove back to the Grimselpass and made our way to Furkpass. We were practically alone on the road. Well, at 5 degrees it was probably a bit too cold for motorcyclists and a bit too early for the others. And so we enjoyed the morning ride up to Furkpass. From a distance, we could already see the helicopter transporting white clothes. This is fleece, which was used to cover the glacier. This is a desperate attempt to maintain the man-made glacier cave for tourists. However, as the glacier is receding very quickly, the fleece end up in the glacial lake and therefore have to be removed. We passed the well-known Hotel Belvedere, which is still closed and will probably remain so. We drive down to the other side of the Furkpass to Realp. In winter, you drive through the Furka tunnel with the car transport to the canton of Wallis. This is because the Furkpass is also closed in winter. We drive through Realp and after a few minutes reach Andermatt. After Andermatt, we continue on to my favorite pass road, the Sustenpass. So I'll dispense with words here and let you immerse yourself in the music. There isn't a single soul on Sustenpass either.
Badele.
We take advantage of this for a short break for Rasta. It's time for a quick mountain bath. We continue down to Steingletscher, where we have already been this summer. Do you still remember that trip? We drove down the Sustenpass and reached the Gadmental. This valley is simply beautiful in autumn, and I am already looking forward to the blaze of color here. This is the rainy side of September. On rainy days I'm often drawn to Lungern, just on the other side of the Furkpass. The weather is really nasty today. It's windy, it's raining, and yet it's beautiful in my eyes. However, I have noticed some of these boards. I'll tell you more about them later. We have parked our car in one of the official parking lots and are now walking through the village towards the semi-island. The trees here are already changing color, but it won't be really colorful for another 2 weeks. This place is normally well frequented, but not many people come here when it rains. Here too, the trees are slowly starting to change color, but it will be a while before it looks really autumnal. Rasta couldn't care less about the colors. He likes it when the leaves are on the ground and he can take a hearty bite. Yeah, it is not that autumnly yet. And there is a tree over there. Quite colorful. Yeah. I keep an eye on it. Where are the leaves? Blätter. Wow. Wow, ganz viele. Ganz viele. Huh? Blätter. You maybe saw the sign spot with the no drones, no picture, and no breathing. But the reason is that Lungern had problems with the tourists. They just went into the gardens. They just sit on the tables and not on the tables, on the chairs, on the table, and having breakfast and picnic. And that was obviously a big problem. And so they decided to put all the sign spots everywhere like this. To prevent the tourists from going into their gardens, which I understand in one way, but on the other hand, how can you just forbid everything, huh? Yeah, but yeah, this is a big problem in Switzerland, everywhere. Yeah, so that the tourists don't know how to respect gardens and privacy, and yeah. For me personally, I felt like a criminal when I just took the little video of the sign spot at this garden. And I think this is not the solution, right? This is not really inviting, huh? For a place like this. Fortunately, not all the tourists are like this, but the few black sheep are annoying. September is coming to an end, and now the autumn magic is really starting. You can be prepared for something. Promise.